This is the Business of Leadership Series Minute with your host, the best-selling author of Don't Buy a Duck and founder of MarketingStrategyHero.com, Derek Champagne.
Whitney Johnson is our guest today. She's an innovation and disruption theorist, keynote speaker, best-selling author, great books, executive and performance coach. She's got an impressive resume. I'm going to read just a little bit of it because I want to make sure we have time to talk with her today. She's named one of the world's 50 most influential management thinkers by Thinkers 50. She's the author of the best-selling book, Build an A-Team, Harvard Business Press, Financial Times, the CEO Read Book of the Month, and the critically acclaimed Disrupt Yourself, Putting the Power of Disruptive Innovation to Work. She also, through writing, speaking, consulting, and coaching, works with top leaders to retain their top talent, to build an A-team, and to help them earn the gold star, be a boss people love. I love your story. I'm going to ask you a few more small moment questions, but went to school for bass guitar in California and did not expect the change that I had. I love that you've done this. I think it's so cool. But I've got a small moment question for you because I know a lot of our listeners are, maybe they're in that moment where they're going, how did you just make that jump though? Because you talk about secretary and then you talk about, what are some small mindset moments that you had there? I mean, obviously you said, all right, I'll throw the pom-poms down, if that's what you want to call it. Let's do this. So there's definitely some fight in you, but give me some other small moments where you maybe had a realization that you had an opportunity to cross that massive divide, as you call it. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think the one was, like you said, when I first realized, okay, I can do this. I want more in my career. I think another small moment, which I started to allude to, was this idea of, there are two small moments. One is when I talked about how I moved from banking to equity research. And that really was a pushback, like from a pecking order standpoint, like that's like going from flying a fighter jet to a cargo plane. It's a huge step back. So I think one of the big moments for me, or small moments, and yet big moments, is that sometimes when we get pushed back, like sometimes you choose to jump, sometimes you get pushed, and those pushes can oftentimes be the career makers. And in fact, building on that, I actually have this hypothesis, because I've also lost a job, I've been fired, is I have this hypothesis that whenever we lose a job, it's actually, we know that it's time for us to go, and we know it, but we won't do it. And so the universe gives us a nudge because it's saying, you won't do it, it's time for you to go. So I'm going to orchestrate things for you to go jump to that new job. So I think that's another important insight for me along the way.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that. And you put it into words. A lot of people don't know how to describe that. You're very eloquent at that. I sometimes feel like in my own personal experience that the worry about making the jump is actually more stressful than making the jump itself.
Derek Champagne here. I want to connect with you if you're listening to the Business Leadership Series. We can connect on LinkedIn or send me a message at derek@derekchampagne.com. I look forward to connecting.